How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Wetship coming at you with the correct opinion. Today we're going over my top 10 pound for pound GOAT list. No UFC for freaking 6 weeks, so now we're on to my freaking GOAT list. And like I said in the beginning, this is the correct opinion. If you disagree with it, you're just wrong and you don't know ball. All right, let's start off with a banger here. I got Jose Aldo. Give me Jose Aldo, number 10 on my GOAT list. Like, I feel like if you're doing a GOAT list, top 10, top 15, whatever you're doing, you have to have Jose Aldo on there. You can't not have Jose Aldo. This is the OG GOAT. What was it? 7 title defenses. What is this? Like 30 title defenses in a row? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 title wins in a row, and I think this was before UFC. Yeah, I think they did a merger here, like Uriah Faber fight. I think that was the merger. So 9 UFC title defenses in a row. Takes a freak loss to Conor McGregor. We all know that was fake. And then gets it back with Frankie Edgar, and then you just run into, it's Max Holloway. I'm just saying, you're not beating Max Holloway. You're just not. Especially at this time, TKO'd by Max Holloway, 3rd round. It's like the same thing happened again in the 3rd round of the next fight. Yeah, I mean, then he got his get back kind of here, and this is when he starts falling off. Like, we don't, just close your eyes when you're looking at that. You don't care about that. But, this guy is 100% top 10. Put him against any of the guys right now. Same weight class, same thing. Like, he's holding his ground, and I think he's doing more than holding his ground. In his prime, I think he can contend with all these guys. In the featherweight division right now, except for one guy, a couple guys, we'll get to him in the list, But, yeah, I think he's a solid guy. His grappling's really good. His striking's really good. It's Jose Aldo. What's not to like about him? King of Rio. On my list at number 10. Number 9, we got Ilia Topuria. Now, if you see the later on in my list, you might be thinking, oh, I was the only number 9. I'm inbred and I like Ilia Topuria. But, he's got to be on the list. I think people like myself, we hate him too much for knocking out our favorite fighters, and we just don't give him the credit he deserves. And I don't want to give him the credit he deserves, but I'm going to have to if I'm doing a competitive GOAT list, like an accurate one, you know what I'm saying? Yes, he knocked out my favorite fighters, but hear me out. They weren't in their prime. Volkanovski, that one doesn't even count because Volk going up. Wait, no, this was back when he was featherweight. Volk just coming off a knockout loss Islam Makhachev, and it was like a quick turnaround. It was like 2 months, and it was on relatively short notice. Like, it wasn't like a full camp. Like, he had time, but it wasn't a full camp. It was relatively short notice coming off a knockout loss. Like, the Volk one doesn't count, and I say they run it back right now. Volk beats his ass. Max Holloway, out of his prime. Max is piecing him up on the feet, but, we can give him Max Holloway. But this was featherweight Max. He was coming out of his prime. He wanted to be freaking lightweight anyway, so the weight cut was atrocious for him. Charlie Olives, I got to give it to him, man. Charles Oliveira, definitely out of his prime. Just ignore the AI video on the right. Hopefully this video actually doesn't get taken down because of that. But, yeah, you got to put him at 9. You can't ignore what he's done, The freaking 10-7 round against Josh Emmett, and Josh Emmett's the who's who, Josh Emmett is the hardest puncher in 145, so. Submitted Bryce Mitchell, got that crazy KO over Jai Herbert where he almost got knocked out, he has a really good resume, and I think if he didn't have this stuff going on right now, he could easily he could be making a push right now for top 5 pound for pound, but he can't fight because he's got apparently getting blackmailed or something. Hopefully the allegations ain't true, Shout out freaking allegations, am I right? All right, next on the list. We're speedrunning this hoe, man. Other creators, they might draw out something an hour. No, we get to do this quick, and it's good stuff, you know what I'm saying? Up next, give me my boy Max. Max Holloway. I know one of my boys, if he's watching this video, he's going to be happy. He's a big Max guy. I'm a big Max guy, too. I don't say it because I think Volk's my favorite fighter, I know Volk's my favorite fighter, so I don't say it a lot, but Max Holloway, he definitely belongs on the top 10 list. I'm going to be honest. I just think he does. He has an incredible resume. Just beat Dustin Poirier. Almost, just a little rough there. He almost slept Poirier in the first and then almost got freaking knocked out towards the end there. But really only his all his losses come from, like, pound for pound GOATs here. We got 3 losses from the probably greatest fighter of all time, Alexander Volkanovski here. 3 losses from him. But if you look at who he's beat the who's who, you know what I'm saying? He comes in, beats these guys. UFC debut, Dustin Poirier loses to a submission. You can't blame him on that. It's Dustin Poirier as your debut. Like, that is crazy. Then we got a little bit of Cans here. Then it goes against Bermudez. I feel like I recognize that guy. But then you got Conor McGregor. Like, it's Conor McGregor. You're not going to beat him. Then we go on a kind of tear here. Andrew Feely, that's a guy. That's a notable win. We got Cole Miller, Club Swanson, Charles Oliveira. I mean, that was the freaking... That was that situation. I'm so hyped for this rematch. I'm going to be honest. It's worth waiting the 6 weeks to see Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway back in their freaking primes. I think it's worth the wait, you know. He's got like Anthony Pettis for the title. And then what was this? Freaking 4 title defenses in a row. Loses to Poirier. Gets it from Frankie Edgar. How did Poirier lose this? Oh, this was the interim. Yeah. Gets it from Frankie Edgar. And then you're not going through Alexander Volkanovski. You're just not. You're not beating Volk. Volk's him, you know. Freaking Holloway Glazers claim he lost he won the second fight, but he did not win that second fight. Volk beat him all 3. That's all that matters, really. Yeah, but I think resume-wise, skill-wise, you got to put Holloway on your go list. And I do have him over Topuria because I think in his prime, Max Holloway beats Topuria. I'm going to just be honest. He was fighting a Max Holloway that was wanting to go lightweight, and just, you know, kind of out of his championship days. I think if he fights Topuria in here by the Jose Aldo, Anthony Pettis area, I think he wins. I'm going to be honest. I think he does. But, you know, what if? Up next, what was this? Was this 8, I think? I think there's 8 on my list. So next is 7. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So this will be 7. It's number 7 on my list. Give me DC. Give me Daniel Cormier. Number 7 on the list. Easily could be so much higher. Easily could be a top 3, top 4 pick if he doesn't go back for the Stipe. If he ends his title reign on that Stipe TKO, retires there. Cinema. But he goes back, fights Derek Lewis, submits him. Another perfectly good thing to retire on. You just beat the GOAT of the sport, and then you come back and submit Derek Lewis, the best knockout artist in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, easily could retire there, be higher on the list, but he goes back. He's greedy. He needs more. He can't stop eating. I mean, look at the guy. He gets in there and he just fortunately takes that TKO loss to Stipe towards the end of the 4th round, and then loses to Stipe in the decision. So even though he has those losses, like, they're not bad losses. They're to the GOAT of the freaking heavyweight division, Stipe, which I don't really think he is the GOAT, but yeah. Not bad losses. And then John Jones, like, I don't count John Jones as a fighter. This is just steroid use. I'm just actually going to get that out of the way now. John Jones is not in my list anywhere. I think if you have to use steroids, you're not a legit fighter, and you do not belong on the GOAT list. So, yeah. Daniel Cormier should be 22 and sorry about that. Should be 22-2. I don't think this John Jones one counts. I think they already took one away, didn't they? He's fought John Jones more than once. Yeah, here we go. The no contest. I don't even think this was shouldn't have been a loss. It's whatever. Up next, Alexandre Pantoja. He has not dropped from my GOAT list, even with the loss of Pantoja. Like I said, I think Pantoja's lost to Pantoja. I meant Pantoja's lost to Van. I think Van, oh my god, can't get this shit taken down. I think Van should be champ, obviously, because he caught the kick and broke his elbow. I don't know why we're saying it was shoulder. It was clearly elbow. I think he should be champ for that, but I don't really count it as a loss for Pantoja, I'm going to be honest. Like, you shouldn't do that. At this stage in your career, there's no way you should make that mistake of friggin' branching out. I know not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you do that, but at the same time, I don't really count it as a loss. In my head, he's still on his frickin', 5-fight defense streak, you know? This was just like a no contest. Like, it didn't even happen. I don't count this as a freaking loss. You know, Joshua Van, maybe get off the cage, man. But you won on a freaking broken elbow, which I guess you caused, but I mean, like, chill out a little on that. But I mean, his record is just crazy. When did you get to the UFC here? He freaking does Brandon Moreno. We got unanimous decision. Sasuke submission. Oh, he lost to Figueiredo. I forgot about that. Figueiredo is such a dog, bro. Figueiredo is such a dog. That's a sleeper. Oh my god. Figueiredo is such a sleeper, bro. I don't know why I don't have him on here. That's crazy. Beast Manel Cop, who just beat. This is a really well aging win here. Brandon Royval just got knocked out. That was really sad to see, by the way. I'm a big Brandon Royval guy. That sucked to see. Beat Brandon Royval, Alex Perez. Beats Brandon Moreno for the belt. That's a really good win. I mean, it was split. Brandon Royval, Steve Erceg. This Steve Erceg win, even though he was like ranked, I think like 8 when he fought him, this is a good win. Steve Erceg was going through the division there. Kaya Sakura, that's a free win because that guy's kind of ass, but you know. Kai Kara France, I'm going to be honest, chat, I'm one of those guys that thought Kai Kara France was going to get it done against Pantoja, you know. I thought he was going to have it, but clearly didn't. I just, you know, the Contender Series fight, I thought it was a close fight then. Kai Kara France has only gotten better. Pantoja obviously has gotten better, but I didn't think he got that much better, so I was a Kai Kara France guy, and then right as I got in there, I knew that was going to happen, but I'm letting it out. You can call me a bum in the comments, I don't care. But I did think Kai Kara France was going to win that one, which sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. Pantoja, I got him at, what is that? 3, 4, 5. That's my 6th slot is Pantoja. Up next, at the 5 slot. We're in the top 5 right now. Dvalishvili. I probably butchered that, but I don't even care. If he beats Piotr Yan, I might have him at my 3 slot. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that would be ridiculous to say. If he beat Piotr Yan, he would be at my 3 go slot. I do not think that is ridiculous to say. I think I would move more stuff around what I have. Like, I don't think I would, when we get to my 3 slot, I don't think I would insert him and move everybody else down. I think I would switch some things around. But he didn't beat Piotr Yan, so that's not what matters. I got him at 5. You just can't beat this resume. This resume is so good. 2 losses off rip. Ricky Simone, that's not a horrible aging loss, but like, sorry about that, guys. I'm not locked in right now. The Mick is fighting back. So yeah, I mean, that's not a horribly aging loss, and then he just goes on a tear here. I mean, these were just, yes, these were kind of hug fests, but I mean, when you're beating Jose Aldo, Piotr Yan, this is why I said I think you top 3 if he freaking beat Piotr Yan, because this was his only questionable win, you know. Everybody's saying, oh, Piotr Yan got robbed. Piotr Yan got robbed. Like, if he confidently beat Piotr Yan, I think he's top 3, but it's all right, you know. Beats Piotr Yan, beats Henry Cejudo, beats O'Malley for the champ. O'Malley, I mean, he was kind of tearing up a lot of people bantamweight. A lot of people didn't think O'Malley was going to lose. I think a lot of people forget. People forget, man. You go back in those TikTok comments back in freaking September when this happened last year. Oh, this Georgian troll's getting knocked out. Get this ugly-ass Georgian guy out of here. Like, I was one of those Merab haters, I'm going to be honest. I hated this guy. He looked weird, and he freaking held people against the cage. Kind of pissed me off. But, you know, he got the belt. The Umar fight, one of the fights of all time. It was a good fight. I remember watching it live and thinking it was a lot better than it was when I watched it back. You know, when I was watching it live, I was thinking, oh, my God, this is like expert level grappling, and it was, when I watched it back, it was so good, but like not as good as I remember it being. And then, I mean, I don't know why this just makes no sense to me. Why is UFC giving Sean O'Malley the fight again, like the rematch? That was just dumb. Corey Sandhagen win. I'm just saying, like, if you look at this, Sean O'Malley could easily still be champ. Henry Cejudo, he's washed, but you know, Umar Nurmagomedov easily could be champ. Corey Sandhagen easily could be champ in this division if like some of these guys didn't exist. Piotr Yan, who we beat here, easily could be champ, and he is champ right now. Like, if you look at his resume, if it weren't for Merab, a lot of these people he beat could currently be champion right now. Case, Piotr Yan. That's why I just think he's beating so many good people. You can't not, and he's beat them like dominantly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people on this list, he beat them dominantly. He's got to be up here. And if you don't have him up here, I don't think you know ball, man. I don't think you know ball. This is coming into my 4th slot. This is gonna be controversial. Actually, you know what? Frick, I need to switch them around, but I can't because you're going to see what happens. So, actually, I'm a genius here. We're just going to click on this next one. My 4th slot, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Okay. For the longest time, people would ask me, you know, Chip, you're really intelligent and handsome and know a lot about MMA. Who's your number 1 pound for pound fighter? I would always say Demetrius Johnson. But, you know, I grew up. I think someone asked me maybe the other day, and I still said Demetrius Johnson, like maybe this week. But I thought about it. I got my little noodle cooking up. You know what I cooked up? It cooked up Demetrius Johnson at the 4 slot. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Demetrius Johnson, amazing fighter. Oh my God, like he was really mixing up the martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Like he's good. He's got some great wins. These Tim Elliott wins, aging really good because Tim Elliott is beating up some of these current kids right now. So that just proves how good this Tim Elliott win was. But he beat Benavidez when Benavidez was Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? These were the who was who. A lot of these people are like, oh, I don't know this game. Who was Kyoji Horiguchi? Like, who is this guy? These were the who's who of the featherweight division. You know, you got to go back and watch some of these fights. These were killers. Benavidez, Dodson, Horiguchi. That's a lot of people. People like to say Horiguchi is like an unknown name, like a what if name, but like, you know, he's really good. Henry Cejudo. This was prime Henry Cejudo. This is 2016 Henry Cejudo. Where is he at? This is not getting beat by Peyton Talbot, getting taken down by Peyton Talbot. This is 2016 Henry Cejudo. This is when he was in his prime. Tearing stuff up. You can't forget about the Ray Borg armbar submission. Speaking of how good Henry Cejudo is, this is where he loses the split decision. Then they trade him to one championship, bro. Come on. Come on. I get the freaking flyweight division was non-existent at this point and nobody watched it, but like, come on, man. Ben Askren, I can see what UFC's thinking about the point. If you look, Ben Askren, amazing wrestler, what he was doing in the ONE FC was like, he was tearing people up, like, he was tearing people up. It's not a bad trade at the time. Like, we have a dominant champ, but he's not really getting views here, and we got a guy that can easily bring in a lot of views. They pull him in. They're not gonna think Masvidal's gonna knock him out in like half a second in his first fight. They were probably freaking out. No, calling up ONE FC. Can we get Demetrius back, please? But that's what they were doing, but you can't trade him back, you know, and it just sucks. But he did fight some killers in ONE. This Morales trilogy is really good. This is where if you see a lot of Demetrius Johnson edits on your TikTok For You page like I do, where he's pushing the guy and he knees him up against the cage, that's the fight right here. After you got the same thing happen to him this first fight. So, you know, it's great. It's kind of crazy they made him fight 3 people before you get a title shot, though, in one. That's crazy. Split decision to Cejudo, and he doesn't get title shot straight into the ONE FC. That's crazy. But, you know, I got Demetrius Johnson at my 4. Coming in at my 3, this is why I switched last second. I had this next pick at my 4 and Demetrius at 3, but I thought about it, and frick. No, I don't know. It's too late now. I got to keep him at my 3. It's too late. Islam Makhachev. You guys see Makhachev out there? Islam Makhachev, however you say it. I don't really care. Actually, I do. He's pretty freaking... This is like the only Russian guy I like. Islam Makhachev. And I don't even really like him because he freaking KO'd my boy Volk, which does not count because that was on a week's notice. I dare anyone to go in there and fight pound for pound number 1 on a week's notice. You'd get killed. Volk held his own. I love Volk. Shout out Volk. You cannot argue with this record. I do not get, first off, how people have Khabib on the GOAT list. Second off, how they have him number 1. Third off, how they have him above Islam. Who has Khabib fought? Conor McGregor, who's freaking washed. This is drug days Conor McGregor. And all you need is a little wrestling to beat Conor McGregor. He beat, well, Justin Gaethje. That's a good win. And then he beat Dustin Poirier. Almost got submitted by Dustin Poirier. Mr. Gilly almost got the Gilly on the pound for pound at the time. Like, lock in, bro. Lock in. He's fighting a lot of these strikers that just, you know, didn't know how to grapple at the time. This Khabib was revolutionary at the time, but like everybody knows how to grapple now. So enough shitting on Khabib. Let's glaze Islam here. They got my boy JDM, man. They got my boy JDM. That sucks. I really wish we could see Topuria versus Islam. That's the only thing. I love that JDM beat Bilal, but I so wanted to watch Islam versus Topuria. That would have been such a great fight. And he beat Moicano, which, yeah, it's a title offense, but like it's not. Oh my God, this should have been Arman Sarukian here, but you know, he missed a weight, hurt his back. Dustin Poirier, this is a great win. This is a war. I thought Dustin Poirier was about to get submitted. Like I think it was that first or second round when he took his back. Like where he was fighting. Like I thought Dustin Poirier was done there, but that was a great fight. I remember watching that live. What do they got? AI fights in here. They got the wrong score on this fight. I wonder. ESPN needs to lock in. Maybe they're so pissed off about this new deal change. They got the wrong. They got the wrong results on this fight. Pretty sure Volk won that one. I think this is honestly one of Islam's best wins here. I don't think people talk about this enough. This Charles Oliveira submission. Not even the fact that it's submission. I mean, the fact that the finish is crazy because he basically TKO'd him and then just ran in for the submission. Nobody was beating this Charles Oliveira. I don't think you guys realize. Nobody was beating this Charles Oliveira. Beat Dustin Poirier in a war. Dropped Justin Gaethje. You don't drop Justin Gaethje. He dropped Justin Gaethje, locked in the submission. Nobody was beating this Charles Oliveira. He was running through everybody. Nobody could beat him. He's on like a 6-fight win streak. Nobody was beating Charles Oliveira. And then Islam Makhachev did. Nobody was beating. Nobody was. He was in deep water with Poirier. Everyone thought Poirier won that. Takes the back, standing, chokes him out. It was crazy. Nobody was beating that Charles Oliveira. That's one of the greatest primes of a fighter ever, I think. People glazed Cody Garbrandt for that one fight. That's like the Cody Garbrandt one fight, but for like 6 fights. Nobody was beating that Charles Oliveira. He was so good, but Islam Makhachev did. And I think that's one of his like strongest wins. I don't think people glaze him enough for that. Also, overall, he's really good at striking. He was striking with Dustin Poirier. If we're talking about attributes here for pound, number 1. Striking really good with Poirier. Obviously, his wrestling's amazing. You know, I like to see more. I hate that he beat JDM like that. The freaking wet blanket strategy. But hear me out. You're a lightweight, 155, going up to fight welterweight, which is 170. That's a big jump. He's probably worried about like strength difference. I think if he can dominantly beat his next welterweight opponent, which I think is gonna be Ian Gary, which I freaking hate Ian Gary, but so I hope he beats him. If he can dominantly beat him, I think we need to start having top 1, top 2 talks, because this welterweight fight, just think about it. He's scared. He's just gonna hold him down. He's doing risk management. He doesn't really know what welterweight feels like, and he's going against the champ off rip. And it's a big weight jump. So I can see kind of where he went with the wet blanket tactic. I just need his next fight to be dominant, and then this could be a 1 or a 2 fight. It would never be a 1, but it could be a 2 spot right here easily. And I think other people will move him up more because a dominant welterweight win. I think they should move him up more. All right, going to the number 2 slot here. I don't think this is ridiculous at all. George Russ St. Pierre at the number 2 slot. We got George St. Pierre. Motherfucker. Tearing through everybody. Nobody can beat him. Nobody's beating this guy. Matt Hughes. Doesn't matter. Nobody beats him. He loses to Matt Hughes. You know what happens? He gets to the UFC. Beats Matt Hughes for the champ. Gets his win back. Gets the belt. He loses the belt. UFC 50. Gets a title fight. Loses. Man, they really made him go through the ring. This BJ... Oh, that was this BJ Penn split decision. That's not the one I'm thinking of. Beats BJ Penn to get to the belt. Gets his L back. Matt Hughes. Dominant performance. TKOs him. Crazy. Craziest underdog win of all time. Matt Serra. Built a whole career off beating GSP. He had like a whole show with Dana White from just beating GSP. You know what GSP does? This isn't just freaking. This isn't Wimpy League what we're in now, where Sean O'Malley can lose to Merab very decisively, sit out for 6 months, come back and get a rematch. This is he loses the belt, has to fight Josh Krocek. Unanimous decisions him. Matt Hughes is the champ now because Matt Serra was a fraud. Gets the belt back from Matt Serra again. Doubles his freaking L's on Matt Hughes. They're like, oh shoot, GSP's the champ again. He just submitted Matt Hughes the champ. Who's GSP's kryptonite? Matt Serra. They throw him in. TKO round 2. It's like he was a fly. Goes on. After his Matt Serra loss, what is that? Is that a 9 fight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fight win streak. 11 of those are title fights. Beats them all. Runs through them all. The BJ Penn one made him quit. He was beating him so bad, holding him down, kneeing him in the gut. Like, I don't think anyone beats him. You give me Islam Makhachev versus GSP. GSP wins. Obviously, they're the same weight class because it's pound for pound. He does all that. He announces he needs a break. Everybody thinks he's ducking. He's ducking. He's ducking. He's ducking. He needs a break. He needs a break. He needs a break. 12 wins in a row, 11 are title shots. 4 years later, job's not finished. Job's not finished. He comes back, submits Michael Bisping in the 3rd round. After everybody was saying he left because he was ducking, he comes back 4 years later and says, Unk still got it. This is like a Phillip Rivers coming back situation, but in MMA. Unk still got it, submits Michael Bisping, is the champ again, and then officially retires. If this doesn't make you freaking number 2, if you're not hyped to go watch GSP versus BJ Penn right now, I don't know what will make you. Like, this was elite fighting here from GSP. It just makes me so hyped. Gotta get these fingers ready to click on the next tab so you guys see my number 1. Number 1 pound for pound. Here we go. Number 1 pound for pound. Greatest fighter to ever fight, in my opinion. Alexander the Great Volkanovski. Round of applause, please. Round of applause. Make sure you put I love Volk in the comments, because we all love Volk. We all love Volk. The greatest fighter to ever fight in the UFC. And I'm going to tell you why. You might be thinking, did you have Ilya Topuria at 9? Didn't he knock out Volk? Don't you have Islam Makhachev at 3? Didn't he knock out Volk? What are you guys saying here? What are you guys saying? Topuria, that doesn't count, because that's short notice loss. Islam Makhachev just came off that. He should have waited a little longer. And to all my Islam Makhachev glazers, I thought he should be number 1 and not 3. Hear me out here. I'm saying top 10 pound for pound GOAT of all time. You know what I'm saying? Pound for pound GOAT. So that means they're the same weight, same everything. They're fighting in their primes. They're going at it. Both times when Volk fought Islam, he had to move up to 155. That's not his normal weight class. That's not where he's normally used to fighting at. He's a smaller guy because Islam is a huge lightweight. You give me Volk in his featherweight shape against Islam Makhachev in his lightweight shape, but, you know, obviously they're the same weight and all that. Give me Volkanovski. Give me Volkanovski. And I think the best way to see that is in this, where they miscalculated the results here, where Volk beat the piss out of Islam Makhachev in Perth. I think it was in Perth. Maybe it was in Sydney. I don't know. It was in Australia anyway. Beat the piss out of him here. Defends his belt. Oh, frick. Slipped a little bit there. How is this a loss? Just think about this. If Volk has his because Islam's going in there, that cheating Russian, probably 230 pounds. Volk's going in there 155 because he's respecting the weight divisions. And they slander him by giving him an L? Are you kidding me? What? Also, what other fighter do you know fought at the welterweight division and is now all the way down to the featherweight division? Nobody. Volk the Hulk does that. Volk the Hulk does that. Volk the Hulk beats beats Max Holloway 3-0 on title defenses. Alexander the Great Volkanovski gets out of 2 submissions from Mr. Brian Ortega himself. T-City, his special triangle, he got out. His guillotine, he got out. It should have been a TKO, honestly. If you look at the end of the round where Volk gets in the guillotine and then out of the triangle, he's pounding him. What's his name? Brian Ortega can't even stand up. He's so beat. That should have been a TKO, by the way. And now the UFC disrespecting my boy. He 50-45'd Diego Lopez. Why is he getting another title shot? Give him Leroy Murphy. Give him freaking Masvidal. I think it is, the guy with the bowl cut. They're both undefeated. Give my GOAT something to pad his record with. We're calling Habib the GOAT when he's just fought Kansas whole career. Let my boy get up take some O's from people, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need Lopez again. He already beat the piss out of him, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just drives me nuts. I love Volk. If you think he's not pound for pound GOAT, you're just wrong. You know, make sure you put I I love Volk in the comments, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.